Welcome to Journey Through the Gate, your paranormal portal podcast, as we delve into the many questions and wonders brought on by the supernatural experience. What's on the other side of the gate? Let's find out together. Hello everybody, how you doing? Hello everybody in chat. I'd like to introduce you to two of my sweetest friends, Ernie Atwell and Dave Seiler. Say hi to my wonderful chat. Hello.
Hi, wonderful chat.
What is up, everyone?
You're gonna have so much fun tonight, guys. I'm telling you what. Grandpa C, hello. Jackie, hello. Roseworthy went so fast I missed everybody. So anyway, welcome in. Now this is known by this group is known by many names. Paranormal Inc. And the name of your YouTube show is
Step into the Paranormal.
Step into the Paranormal. They've got Ernie just came out with a book. We all just got back from Gettysburg Bash, and you were at Hoover House, weren't you?
Yes, I was actually there yesterday with Brad and Barry Kling from the Discovery Channel's
Ghost Lab. Ghost Lab. How much do we love Ghost Lab?
Yes, it was a one-day event. It was a very, very, very good event. We had so much fun, and it's always a pleasure when we go up and see Pam and Steve Barry and up in that Pennsylvania area.
The Hoover House is absolutely amazing. Yes. And there's so many. So we've only been there a few times. I know I have only been there a few times, and I've got so many stories. Dave got stuck on the elevator. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's like the plague. It keeps haunting me.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just such a great place. It's got all these nook and crannies and things.
Cisco, yesterday, we were, when you walk into the Hoover House,
right.
You have like the straightaway that goes back to the kitchen. You have rooms on each side as soon as you enter.
Right.
So they had vendors on the left as you walk in, and then on the right was Brad and Barry Kling and myself. We were set up there.
I love them so much.
We were just, the event didn't start yet, and I haven't even told Dave this. But everybody, we were just seated at our tables, talking back and forth, and we heard this loud crashing sound.
Okay.
I thought somebody fell down the steps. When we ran around to that hallway there, as you enter, one of the pictures flew off the wall, and simultaneously one of the pictures flew off of the stand or dresser or whatever.
Right.
Oh, wow. And it was crazy. And that's the way the event started. And we still can't figure out how this happened because the nail's intact. The picture on the mantle or whatever that was, it had to move about this far to reach the floor. So we went and got Pam, and she's like, "Well, welcome to the Hoover House."
Welcome to the Hoover. That's it. I mean, I spent time in the cellar there. It's the electricity's amazing. Old speakeasy. The walls are talking, and sometimes it just feels like all at once. You guys felt it, Yeah. And it's a fabulous place, and the Barrys are people that you want to help and help this grow and
they
you know what I mean.
They do so much
for the community.
And for so many people.
They do.
And they ask for nothing. They ask for nothing in return. And they're two of the greatest, sweetest people that Dave and I had the pleasure of working with.
They really are. And the bash itself, we get to meet so many people. I got to hug y'all's necks, Hey. But it was great being together. And we all got the Gettysburg Goose. Now listen, chat. We're at the place called the Wyndham, right? And you have to imagine you're running around, you're seeing people, you stop, you hug. I mean, it's hard just to get through the hallways because you want to stop.
Oh, it is. So many
spend
people.
So much talking to everybody, So you go through, and just when you're not thinking about it, something happens. you think something might have happened, and and then it happens again and again and again. So this was happening to me and my son. So it basically what it was is it felt like you were getting supernaturally goosed from underneath and lifted, almost like an elevator feeling, and then kind of let down again, and sometimes with the goosebumps.
Yep.
Do you remember? So you stopped me in the hallway.
I did.
I was where the hell was I?
You were exhausted.
Oh, I know. I was doing something, and all of a sudden, I had to I got this feeling I had to shake. And I'm not a person that feels stuff. Let me set that straight. But I was doing something, or I was buying something, and all of a sudden, man, I had this feeling. It felt like I lifted, and I don't mean physically, but I lifted and dropped, like you said in the elevator, that I had to actually shake it off. And Dave Haney, he said he was with me, and he was like, "What's wrong?" And he was like, "Holy shit, that happened to me earlier." I felt like that.
I know.
And then
It's so funny.
Cisco comes up to me 10 minutes later, and she's like, "Let me run this by you. Let me explain what happened." And she started telling me, and I'm like, "Wow, we're all."
I grabbed him by the shirt. I'm like, "You gotta listen to me, Ernie. You gotta listen to me, because everybody else is either drunk or totally paranormal hangover or whatever." I said, "This keeps happening. Have you heard it happening to anybody? Because it really was profound feeling. It's hard to describe.
It's the elevator. It's just like you said when you
Yes.
come off of the elevator and you
And it
feel
goes
like
fast.
you're still on it. That's
Like zero gravity, kind of, but from
that's exactly
underneath
what it
and
was.
up and down. And it happened to me and my son down in the lobby. We were talking about it again. It did it again, it heard you. It was almost an intelligent reaction to what we were talking about.
Right.
And a couple people mentioned this. It was crazy. I mean, you're not going to see it in a book. It's impossible to describe until you see it in somebody else's eyes that it happened to.
But isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing when you go up to someone and randomly say something and they tell you, "Holy crap, I just felt it," or "I've seen the same thing," or
I got
felt the
goosed.
same thing."
I got goosed. But whoever it was had the best sense of humor, because that's the way it was like. It was almost like one of those movies you see and the ghosts just go around pinching everybody in the ass.
Yeah.
It's kind of
it was somebody was happy to be at the bash.
It was so cool. But that's the way it is too, and the energy is wild. And Tone got his first EVP in the hallway there. Two little girls answering, "Do you feel stuck?" And it was profound enough to have it go, almost two girls looking at each other going, "No. Like they were agreeing with each other. Right there in the hallway, outside of where we had the bash, where the vendors were, that long hallway, nothing's on, was there. 1 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, it's just, stuff just kept happening. So, last night, anyway, I was inspired. I want to talk about the book. I want to talk about the show coming up and the stuff that you guys are doing. But do you ever sit around and see a video and you go, "Gosh, I wish I could show that to such and such and get his opinion"? Or you just be there with him to share the evidence, right? We're going to talk a little bit about evidence, and evidence you guys think is profound. Either you got or you saw somebody else get. But we're seeing so much on CCTV, right? And I love these little clips, and you never know whether... Is it real? Is it not? You didn't get it yourself. You can't say 100%. You can't. But it's intriguing, right? We've all got them. So you look back at the pictures. We talk all the time in the chat. "Hey, guys, how you doing? Everybody coming in. Hey, Andrew." We talk all the time about those pictures that stick in your mind, like the brown lady of... what the heck, out in Britain. When you're a kid, you're looking at these pictures, right? The famous pictures. The famous boy on the steps in Amityville.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As soon as I say it, you know what I mean, yeah?
Yeah.
So even, to some really hard rock paranormal heads, I can say stuff like the Rose Staircase, and everybody will know it's that famous picture of that thing going up the staircase. The Hampton Court Ghost. The guy coming out, and you both know what I'm talking about, right? I know there's a little echo. Everybody's saying there's a titch of an echo. Is that you guys?
Turn it up a little more.
So, anyway, I grabbed one since you were with the Kling brothers last night. You know what they started on. The Phantom Regiment, right? In Gettysburg, right there. I think it was on, was that the wheat field? I can't remember. But they saw the Phantom Regiment, and I think it was Brad Kling got a picture of it on the video, right?
Right.
Okay. So that inspired me to grab this, and it's just 2 real quick Gettysburg grabs possible. They look real to me. I couldn't tell you one way or another with all the information I have on it, you know, but they're intriguing. So you want to take a look?
Sure.
Let's see if I can pull it up. This is for the Kling brothers. Yeah. That was one.
Holy crap. Down by the canyon, you see that?
Oh, what is that?
Wait, shh. Oh my god. Is it?
See this one? Yeah. He walks
No
out.
way. What is that?
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
It's recording.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
Did you, honestly?
I wouldn't believe it unless we recorded it.
Wow. But how much do you love it, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
So what do you guys think? I know you've seen them before, right?
Yes, definitely.
And you've probably sat outside those cannons before, right?
Oh my gosh, we've been there so many.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, it's like, what is your thoughts when you see something like that? Like, oh my God, I wish I was in the car, or oh, it's fake. Oh, you know, what is your first impression?
My first, I mean, being the type of researcher and investigator that I am, because we get a lot of people send us a lot of stuff every day. What do you think about this? Can you clarify that? And I think one of the main keys, and I'm a pretty good judge of character. I go by, like with that video, for example.
Yeah.
You can tell by their expressions, or by what they say.
Yep.
But it's sometimes I feel so bad at times telling people that I can't give an opinion either way, because it's so hard at times to come to a conclusion on a piece of evidence with not being there.
Right. Oh,
because you don't know what's out of camera frame. Not saying anyone's trying to
fake it
or nothing, but you don't know what we're not seeing.
External influences are.
Yeah,
right.
And it's so
you don't
hard
know
sometimes to give an opinion.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Being a network engineer, and what I do for my living, I can actually look at these videos and I can tell you half the time if they're edited or not. So what happens is, a lot of people don't realize, is when you make a video from a camera, it actually puts metadata into the video itself. You can look at the metadata. When somebody edits that video, the original timestamp it was made is there, and then there's an edit metadata. It'll tell you what program they edited it with.
Right.
So half the time that they send me these videos, oh, look what we caught. I can go, okay, look, you use this program, you use this one, and it tags onto it and addends it.
And see, we'll receive some clips, and it seems like legitimate evidence. Like it's
that one you're getting from Florida.
Like it's a great capture, but the thing is, you really can't give them a solid answer because we just weren't there. If Dave and I were there and say, yeah, I know exactly when this happened, and I know exactly what the environment consisted of. Yeah, it's so much easier.
He has a friend down in Florida that's sending him these CCTV videos.
Yeah.
And it's an office space. And just randomly, you will see what looks like a plasma ball coming through. And it wasn't just one video on one night.
It happens every night.
Wow.
And to me, it looks like almost like a security guard walking around looking at the place. And in one of the videos, you could see like car headlights come by.
Well, I had her send me. I deliberately had her send me a clip of when cars went by.
Right.
To
completely different.
Eliminate that, and it's completely.
But
different.
There's nobody in this office sometimes it comes from the upper right and goes through like here. Sometimes it comes from the bottom. So, and you can see it's a plasma ball just doing this across the screen, different place. I mean,
yeah, so and you can tell the difference between that and a bug and all that. These are seasoned investigators, guys, and I'm getting questions here real quick before we move off of it. They're asking, is the video fake? If you were to ask me, I'd say both of them are legit, and it's just a feeling, because like Ernie and Dave are saying, I wasn't there. I didn't take it. I've had pictures that I've shown people that I know are real because I took them.
Right. And see, you got to
and
keep
I
in
got to
mind,
explain to people, I didn't put it through a filter. I didn't do this.
Keep in mind what I mean is, like, for example, that is something very unexplained that they captured on them videos that you just sent.
And they're talking and saying, I see this as I'm doing this.
Now,
and the reaction.
Just because someone didn't fake that evidence, also keep in mind it doesn't necessarily mean it's paranormal.
Correct.
They just haven't figured out what caused that yet.
Right. It could be like a car in the background reflecting off rainwater.
That's what I mean when I say, well, it's hard to give a honest opinion when we weren't there.
Are those legit videos? Yes, they have not been edited, but is it paranormal? We don't know.
Dave and I have been live doing different things or whatever, and just like that, we thought we were capturing something that we were unaware of until someone brought it to our attention. And then later on, we were able to debunk it.
Yep.
But at the time, we actually thought,
we had a debate about it.
Yeah,
we were like having a chat about it.
This is completely legit. So just because someone posts something and it's debunked doesn't mean they were trying to pull a hoax on you.
And it also doesn't mean that if it is something, it's paranormal. That's why I brought this stuff up, because when we see these videos now, I still get the same feeling when I see these videos that I get when I saw it the first time. I want it to be real. I don't know if it isn't, so I choose. Why not believe it? You know, because I've seen stuff. I'm not out there personally to document and log and collect evidence and try to establish proof of some sort. Do you see what I'm saying? To show somebody. Everybody goes at this different. I'm still involved in the intrigue of the whole thing, as are you guys. Everybody at that bash, that whole room, hundreds of people, were still intrigued by the quest, by the get, you know, whether it's an EVP, one little thing like I got, like no, and you could hear the inflection and the emotion, no, like they were simple little things. The same as you guys get excited when you see, even though they go in at, now ladies and gentlemen in the chat, these guys either were police officers or are currently police officers.
He is, I was.
And I waited to tell you that because this whole thing, I've been a really sneaky way of talking about evidence without letting you know we were really talking about evidence. So it's just because I wanted you to look at it fresh minds, right? You didn't know you were looking at it to debunk it. You were looking at it for the intrigue of, oh, wow, somebody may have caught this in the middle of the night when they weren't expecting, you know, even though they were out there looking for it. And it's just so intriguing and it's so exhilarating, you know, when you get anything. If you get a flashlight to turn on and off, just, you know, the people argue and say that's not evidence. But, man, when you're there and you have the feeling along with the knowledge, you know you don't have strings tied to things. You know other people don't. You know that you know nobody has set this up. It's not a hologram. You know, you go in knowing things because you've checked it. You're thorough, but you still get that little pinch on the back of the neck, or you get that feeling that runs through you and makes the bumps and the hair go up on the back of your neck, all the natural stuff. And then you might have an EMF meter go off, or other things you use like FLIR, and see something on the camera in, you know, the infrared or through the laser grid, and it adds to that. But all it's really doing at that point, just a little point here, is confirming what you already felt.
Right.
Yep. Here's a perfect example. You see right here, we have a doll right here. All right. This was sent to us by a friend of mine. It came from Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky. The story, we were getting at the point where it belonged to a little girl in 1948. Her dad got sick. She got sick. She died of a respiratory disease. And there was blood on the doll. And apparently the people who owned it, it kept moving in their house, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, send it to us. So we did 2 weeks ago, our show was specifically on Sandra. All right. So when we opened it up, we had it filmed by our cameraman, John McGinnis, just in case something happened.
Our intention
was to hold on to it and archive
it.
Yeah,
we just wanted to film opening up and our
first reactions.
Yeah, and facing her up. And that was just for our files. But it got so active that Dave and I talked. We were
amazed.
Instead of coming on, doing our episode and talking for an hour about it, let's just show the 22-minute video and let everybody.
And we have that on our YouTube channel. If you go to paranormalinc.net.
Yep, a great YouTube.
But
my mods are not already. They've got all your links to your show, to your web, to your all of it's in the chat.
Yes,
I have stellar mods. I'm telling you, they're already bam.
But yeah, this video is our 1 hour show from last week, and we were just so impressed. We've got EVPs of a little girl giggling, sighing, and actually during the show that we did last week, I actually posted a link where the entire unedited audio is, so you can pull it down yourself. Cut it up, listen to it. You can look at the metadata. We haven't augmented it. It was amazing. So we had to air it. And when you hear at the end where we finally put her in the glass case there and told her we accept her, she's part of this house, part of this family, you actually hear a little girl go, oh.
Yeah, like she sighed. Also, Cisco, real quick for those watching and listening, when you go on Facebook, look up Paranormal Inc. It's a private group. Send us a request. We'll accept it. And there everybody just what it is, it's to keep everyone in touch with everybody.
Yep.
Feel free to post your evidence, pictures, events, stories. It's just
share the love.
It's fun. It's all love. It's no judgment.
Absolutely. I can assure you, I can attest for both of these gentlemen right here. Anytime you send them evidence, they will pull it aside. They'll look at it privately, and they will make fun of you behind your backs.
But we had.
I'm joking. No.
I started the Paranormal Inc. page back in 2015 before I even knew Dave or before there was a Paranormal Inc. And it was called American Ghost Hunters. And it was just, a way of keeping everybody in touch. Once we formed Paranormal Inc. and, it came to be, point of my story, all these years, we've only had one person with a negative, almost crude response, and we immediately pulled the comment and put them off the page. So it's
because genuinely people, man, they don't know if they get a picture and they get a picture of an orb like hovering over a baby's head at Christmas morning. They want some place to send it. They're not out looking for something. They want to know what it is. You know?
Absolutely.
And I know when you guys get something like that, which you see all the time, you don't want to break their hearts and say, it's a spider. I can see the, whatever that came down before the fan. But you have to, and you're going to tell them what you're honest.
And
we're honest about
there's
it.
a way. There's a way of doing it.
Yeah,
See, I'm like this. When somebody sends me a piece of evidence, and that's a good. I'll use that as an example. They'll say, "Hey, check this out. Tell me what it is." Instead of me just saying, "Ha, it's a spider," and moving on, I'll explain to them exactly why it looks the way it does and what made them think that it could be paranormal. It's not something that to be criticized over or
absolutely
or to be judged on. I mean, somebody's asking for your opinion. Dave and I ask people for opinions all the time.
All the time.
I had somebody send me a picture of it looked like somebody hiding against the wall with their back against the wall and feet hanging out. But the thing is, I looked at the picture and realized I actually had a picture in my phone from the exact same spot where they were. And I sent this person that picture, and I said, what you're looking at is there's steps on that side of the building, and there's actually an indentation where the bushes are. So the way you're looking at it is one thing. here's what it really looks like when you look at it wider.
Right.
And she realized at that point, because of what I caught, because she was just filming randomly.
And see, a lot of times what we'll do when we're, whether we're on a case investigating or we're hosting a public event, what I like to do is, let's say Dave, or just say one of the guests that paid to come investigate, they're snapping digital photos. I like to photo the same area, but with like a full spectrum camera.
Right.
Because that catches a little bit more than just your, standard
Right.
digital camera. That way you have more to go on. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, you have backup, so to speak.
We had an investigation once. Then this guy professed right at top that he knew, what I'm talking about, that all this is BS. This is all fake.
Right.
The only reason why he's here is his wife believes in this stuff, and you don't have to try to impress him. It's BS. Now, this guy, I said to him flat out, I said, guy, I am a paranormal investigator. Ernie's a paranormal researcher. Mm-hmm. I will tell you, at this venue, I can guarantee you something's going to happen you can't explain.
Right.
And I'm going to make sure to call that to your attention. Well, at the end of the night, I'm going to come back to you and say to you, have I shown you something you can't explain?
Right.
So he has this Coleman lantern that turns on the top like this. We go up the grand stairway. He breaks off to the left in the room. I go straight ahead, and there's a window there that I throw some of my equipment on, the REM pods, the K2s, the flashlights. And I call out to what I know is a spirit there. Jacob, Mr. Dave, how you been, buddy? Long time no see. Oh, by the way, this guy doesn't believe you're here. Can you turn on one of the lights and show him? Fully expecting my lights to come on.
Dave had the two. We used the mag lights.
Mag lights.
This one's yes, this one's no.
And I said, can you turn on one of the lights to prove you're here? And his light came on.
The lantern that he set off to the side.
And his mouth, you heard it, and he went.
I love it when that happens.
And you actually heard the click.
You heard it click.
Yeah, love it.
Which so he grabs the light and he like Scooby-Doo's right out the door. So I hear him running down the steps and I hear the front door close. I'm like, okay, fair enough. So I spent about 20 minutes with my group and I was kind of worried about him. So I said, okay, guys, let's take a break. Let me go check on that guy and make sure he's cool. So I see him outside.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you all right? He's like,
trying to process.
And so he was and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to ask you the question like I promised you. Did I show you something you can't explain?
Can't explain.
He's like, absolutely.
Outstanding.
I said, would you like to come back in and join us? He's like, no, I'm good. I'll hang here. I'm like, well, why not? He goes, because that place is haunted.
That place is haunted.
I almost peed myself laughing when he said that.
But it's so cool, man, when you think about it. I look over my lifetime and think, way back you couldn't talk about this stuff. And here we are talking about this all the time. And it's been such a shift in my lifetime. And, a lot of people in the chat can attest to this too. We have them spread out all age groups here. We used to fight to watch stuff like, a little bit of Ghost Something or a little flick of maybe Unsolved Mysteries where Robert Stack could get out there and tell you the little history of the story. And then they would reenact it and it would be just so heartfelt. You cared about the ghost. You really did. You cared about maybe the people that didn't know what was going on in their house. And I wonder how we got from that to bleeding skulls and every time a board creaks it's a demon. We've come a long way in between.
Yeah, it's not all demonic people.
Cisco, there's a lot in my book that actually talks about that.
Cool. Yes, the book, yeah.
40 some years ago, how it is, compared to now and all that good stuff.
I think it's so fast. But the thing is, one of the reasons I'm bringing it up, it's because, and I'm also looking for something else here, bear with me, that I think this is it right here. Yeah, this is it. There we go, the book.
Boy,
I love that,
on that one.
so much. I love this so much. It's Paranormal, My Chosen Journey by Ernie Atwell. I saw that picture. I had to have it. You need to make that into a poster, and I want it signed. But that's the book now. The thing
he's going to give me that task, right?
I want the poster, and I want it signed, and I'm not joking. I mean, I have to have it. It was absolutely fabulous. Chat, that's the book, and I believe it's available on Amazon, is it not?
You can get it on Amazon, Amazon Kindle, or if you want to save some money, come to one of our events.
There you go.
And get it from me. It's cheaper.
Get it signed. Get a hug. But see, that's the thing. You know, the book, babe. I'm so glad you did it.
Let me tell everyone this.
Sure.
You know, I've spoken before about prior to writing it when I was little. I always wanted to write a book. Okay. And I can remember being 9 years old, and I was just an avid reader. I would read sometimes 2 books a day, you know, and this is 9, 10, 11 years old. And I used to tell my grandparents I'm going to write a book someday. And my grandmother used to always be a smart ass and say, well, we see what we have to do to get you to do your homework. So if you're going to write a book, you better start on it now. So years went by, and Dave and I, we were on, it was either, I don't know if Dave and I, or if it was just me or whatever, but years ago we were on your show. Mm-hmm. And I spoke to you like the night after I was on my way to work, and you told me, you was like, Ernie, you need to write a book.
Just write the book.
And I kind of giggled like, yeah, it's something I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And Pam Barry told me the same thing. Mm-hmm. Well, a few years ago, Ted Van Son sent me the rough draft to his second book, asked me to read it, and asked me if I would write the foreword for it. So once I did that, and then I saw my name on that book,
you got the bug.
I was like, I think I was just scared. Like, I knew what I wanted to do, and I had everything I needed, but it was just like, you know, when you put your toe in the pool, and then you're like, oh, it's cold, but you get up that nerve to jump in. That's basically how I just had to take that jump. And once I did it, you know, it was no looking back. But I have to give you so much thanks, because you're like one of the first people that ever told me that I need to write a book.
The thanks is that you did it, and now it's in paper. But you know, you can, the first time you touch it, when I wrote mine, the same thing. I ordered, you know, a bunch. I gave them all away. Didn't sell one. Gave them all away. But you know, it's just to hold it. My words are in there. My stories, the things that happened to me. And the cool part is any of the stuff that brought fear at first or caused any kind of, you know, craziness that I went through was now not really in vain. It might be out there to help somebody else understand what happened to them, and that's the cool part about it. It's
see, I gotta be honest.
One big investigation, like, you know what I'm saying?
I did not. The last reason that I wrote this book was for money. It seriously,
because you don't make any.
I wrote it because I wanted to just have in words how I felt about my experiences, my family, my grandparents. I wanted to be able to anytime just open that up and there they are.
What you learned from it, what you thought about it then, what you think about it now, if it switched, if it changed, if it morphed into something else. It's amazing.
The thing is, I never in a million years thought I would sell as many copies as I did, especially when we went to the bash.
Right.
And how I knew it was reaching people instead of them just buying it, I walked down, got off the elevator, you know, the long hallway. Mm-hmm. I'm getting ready to walk down that long hallway to the ballroom, and I saw a lady sitting there reading my book.
That's so cool.
She come up to me and she said, you know what? She said, I just wanted to tell you this. She said, I'm like 3/4 of the way through the book. And she goes, I've been investigating for 15 years. Mm-hmm. But since I've been reading this, I'm seeing things in a whole different light now.
Different vantage point. It's amazing. And that's a great gift. I mean, when people are looking, not only did they get it like the way you meant it, like if you put something subtle in there or you were trying to lean towards something, because it's such a hard thing to describe. Mm-hmm. You know, especially when you're trying to be. Both of these gentlemen, chat, are part of that group I'm talking to you about all the time, about integrity and heart and sensitivity, but intelligent and tech. And shut up, Dave. And are you wearing pants? Is he, Ernie?
I'm seeing a lot of skin.
Oh my goodness. Okay, good. So, and we haven't had enough of this yet. That right there is, I'm telling you, Look for this man on your local subways, your buses, your other trains. It could be
Couple
anywhere.
jail cells. Yeah.
In the bar car, on the on the express. Oh my god.
Oh my
I
God.
saw that and I thought, oh my god, that's fabulous. I mean,
And
was
let
that
me
an
tell you-
accident? Did
I
you
know the
set
guy
that
who
up?
actually created that cover. I know him.
Let me tell you something, Cisco.
So good.
This is, I gotta tell, everyone that gets a book, I have to tell them this.
It's great.
There's a few chapters in there where I speak about, there's a park that I would go to. There's a park that I would go to that's a block from my house. And I would sit up on the hill and I would read. And on the other side of the fence is a cemetery, there's also a few stories about the cemetery in there. That cover, I took that photo. That is the actual hill that I used to sit on.
Cool.
So that cover photo is
means something,
absolutely
too.
real, and that's where I used to go.
I just dig
and then,
it,
of
man.
course, Dave and Loren Malloy, they added all the magic to the cover.
All the magic, but yeah.
And also, if you turn the book over, on the back, there's a photo of me.
I thought you were going to say if it plays backwards.
No.
No, I thought he was going to say the cross goes upside down. Hold on, what's going on? What's he trying to do, Dave?
This is very cool. The bio photo of me was actually taken at the Malvern Manor in Iowa, the facility that Josh Hurd owns.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah.
Cool. So wow. And on top of that, you're going to be in 2 days on the 12th on Haunted Hotels, is it, on the Travel Channel?
Haunted Hospitals.
Haunted Hospitals, okay.
For those who haven't, it's been airing for about 4 months, I guess, on Discovery Plus.
Okay.
If you don't have Discovery Plus channel, I'll be making my Travel Channel debut this coming Tuesday at 10 p.m. Watch it and get in touch with me and let me know what you think of the story that I tell.
It's Ghost on the Road.
Yes, the segment is the Ghost on the Road.
Can you give us a little taster teaser there? What happened? Don't give us a whole thing, but the overview. Now it says Ghost on the Road, but it's a hospital. So was the ghost on the way to the hospital? What was going on there? You don't know.
I saw a ghost on the road.
Bastard.
I'll give you.
Give us a take. Give my chat a little. Come on.
There's it's not a hospital anymore. It's an abandoned building, but
which is creepy
part of the emergency room of this hospital is now like one of them like a minute clinic or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Doc in the box.
This hospital had various parking lots. And there was one parking lot up on a hill that I used to sit at night. I had a good vantage point of looking around, and I'd sit up there and do my computer work or whatever. It was a Sunday night, and it was a nice fall evening, and I was sitting there, and about 2:30 in the morning, I was like, oh, goodness, even though I've passed my coffee limit for the day, I need just a little boost to get me through to 7 o'clock.
Hold the thought. Jackie, it's season 3, episode 8.
6.
I'm sorry.
Oh, close.
It's just numbers.
So I decided I needed a little shot of caffeine to get me through.
Okay.
Now, there's a road that we travel it's not in the woods, but it's wooded. It's a winding road that leads you from one side of the city to the other. You have a creek on one side, homes on the top of a hill that run along the other side. Now, as you're going along this road, on the other side of the creek, there's a huge hill. At the top of the hill is the hospital and, the parking lot I just left. So on my way to go get coffee, I saw an apparition on the road.
Wow.
But the thing is, as the days went by, there's a whole lot more to the story.
Right.
And a few more people involved. And I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give too much.
Well, that's a nice taste. That's a nice taste. And it's Travel Channel. Travel Channel, Haunted Hospital, The Ghost on the Road. And that's 10 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, chat's got it. They're throwing down some stuff. Great. Thanks, guys.
And the thing is, it's if you watch those shows, like mine is episode 6. Our friend Jamie, hers is episode 9. Our stories are very spooky and very eerie, but they're not your stereotypical. You just have to see, and you'll see what I mean.
Yeah,
So.
they do a good job. I mean, I love the whole feel of some of them. You know, I'm a big celebrity ghost story fan. I love the way it's just, the cinematography on it, the way they play it out. It's not overdone. You know, some of the ones coming out of Canada, like Creepy Canada, love it. Yeah. It's got that old feel where they take a little time to tell the story and not overdo it, you know.
And the good thing is, Cisco, Dave recently started on his first book.
Nice. Yes.
And between next month and December, I'm going to be starting on my second one. I've already started the research and the notes, but my haunted hospital episode is going to be in the book. I'm going to give the whole story, full version, and exactly.
Not the edited down for TV version.
You're going to get the full version of what happened and all that good stuff.
Outstanding. Jackie's got it up here. Thank you, Jackie, so much for all these links. I appreciate it. I'm telling you, I got the best mods in the world. Hey, Sue, she's out there listening. They're all over the world. We got them in New Zealand, Australia, all around the world, Scotland. Everybody, it's wonderful to come together. When you think about this, we're talking about how much has changed in our lifetimes. Yes. Did you ever think you'd be sitting on, what is it, Sunday night, and having a chat with a bunch of like-minded people that get it? They're over here talking and getting great questions and commenting on the things that you're saying. Everybody is all sharing this around the world at the same time. It blows your mind.
And see, that's why Dave and I say that the paranormal, I don't like to say paranormal community because to us, in our hearts, it's family. It's more than a community.
Paranormal family.
And the paranormal family is the best in the world, man. I mean,
it absolutely really is. Because it goes from one to the other. Like you guys are talking about just getting intrigue and taking new people in. They run investigations, folks, and show people how to use equipment. Ask, there is no stupid question. They answer your questions. They take you through. They show you how to do all this. Like I said, they're just like KSPS. We all know each other. There's a lot of people on TV right now you're seeing that we all know and we sit and hobnob with and talk about it. And everybody's the same.
I was with Dave yesterday from KSPS.
Yeah, I love Dave. That's my brother right there.
If you go on our Paranormal Inc. page, you'll see the photo I posted with Brad and Barry and me and Haney and Julian on there because somebody couldn't make it yesterday.
I saw with the Kling brothers. Now, I'm telling you, I like the way they did their show. They had the van, they had the badass van, all of the tech out in the van, they pull up front, everybody had a job, I really enjoyed it. But like I said, they really got their first bite. Their first intrigue, of course they were history buffs. They like to go there. We're on a family trip. In case you guys don't know, I'll tell you. It's Brad and Barry Kling. Yep. And so they're out with their family, Gettysburg, and they've got the camera. One of them's got the camera and happens to catch the Phantom Regiment. Now, that's just 5 people getting together. They've got the flags and everything, but they're marching about 1.5 feet off the ground. And he turns around to tell somebody and come back again. Nothing. But he's got a little snippet of video. And that's what started it for them. And then they got a show and they, just traveled around and investigated places and the history of it. Those are my favorite shows when they really did get to do that kind of stuff.
If you didn't have a chance, because right before we came on your episode just now, we had our show. We just ended it. But if you weren't able to check it out, Sunday, November 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Brad and Barry are going to be on our radio podcast.
Outstanding.
So we're looking forward to that.
Outstanding.
They are just the coolest.
Yeah. Can I call in? Can I be a mystery caller and call in and give them both hugs and kisses over the phone?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I love them so much. I really do.
Sue, no, it's paranormalinc.net right here at the bottom.
Oh, there you go.
www.paranormalinc.net. I don't know who that website is right there.
Is she saying she's digging this and is this it? Okay.
You'll see this logo right here, and you'll also see our YouTube channel, our Step Into the Paranormal show, and our Facebook page. All three are on that.
There you go. And Aunt Edna, she has got a powerful psychic wave, we call it. We've had mediums on this show of energy, and she said you'd love Aunt Edna. We all do. And she's saying here, and listen, it's this simple. Once you experience these things, you want to know what the heck it is.
Absolutely.
That's basically it, and that's why we write the books. That's why we do the shows. That's why we talk about the stories. So I had brought up the Kling brothers, and we talked about what bit them and made them start on their quest. What bit you, Ernie? What was the first thing, paranormal, supernatural, or WTF, that you experienced or saw that went and hit that intrigue button?
First thing that ever bit me was Dave, but
did you get a rabies shot?
I tell you, I'll make this very simple. I make this very simple, and this will give away a little bit of my book.
Okay.
When I was young, I lived with my Roman Catholic grandparents, went to Catholic school. I was always intrigued by our religion class with angel visitation, spirit visitation, prophetic visions, all those. I always loved the afterlife, and everything at that point that I knew about it was something like miraculous or angelic. And as the years went on, I continued researching and studying as much as I could on spirituality and religion and all the ghost stories that went with it. Mm-hmm. And then one day it was like an apple fell on my head and was like, paranormal was mainstream now, and all this stuff I've been studying all these years, it's now labeled paranormal. Right. So basically, what got me hooked was I always viewed it, studied it, and saw it as something religious. Now you have the tech guru here who is very technical, very knowledgeable with all the equipment, very scientific. And the thing that I like that gets me is the core thing that we're looking at is the exact same thing. It's just we're looking at it through different lenses. Yep. Whether you're looking at it from a spiritual or angelic standpoint, or you're looking at it from scientific, we're looking at the same thing.
But if you actually put both those sides together, it comes into play, and that's actually one of our seminars.
Right.
In the same respect, I grew up, day before Halloween is my birthday. I've always loved creepy, spooky. Yep. I was that guy that went into where you shouldn't have, the old sanatorium, and I'm not going to say which one
because he still sneaks in.
They put the jacket, the ties, and the back, But that was me. And what happened was, unbeknownst at the time, Ernie and I, because of the jobs we've had, we literally were just missing each other for years on the same jobs. We were literally in the same place at the same time. Literally,
just missed two ships passing in the night.
It wasn't time for us to come together. And what happened was, I met him at a karate dojo. Okay. And I went on to a vacation down to New Orleans with my now ex-wife, and I got this picture of in a mirror of like a guy in a stall coming around looking. And
ooh, creepy.
The real history behind that is amazing. But I come back to him and I'm like, dude, I'm about to blow your mind. Check this picture out. And he's like, dude, I'm about to blow your mind. I'm with prom. I'm like, who's prom? You want to take me to prom? What?
The way that went down, he showed me this picture, and he goes, I'm going to blow your mind.
Yep.
And he showed me this picture, this apparition he captured. And I said, well, I'm going to blow your mind. And I showed him a picture. I was with Brian Cano a week earlier. Okay. And I showed him because I knew he knew who Brian was. Yeah. And he's like, oh, shit. And I'm like, Yeah. So all the time we knew each other, we didn't know each other were into the paranormal.
And so I came into that paranormal group.
Like Lucy and Ethel.
Oh, it was. And, we were throwing each other around in the dojo all the time.
Oh,
but we
funny.
never even thought about it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just clicked. And then at that point, it was all there.
Yeah. And we went after months of discussions and meetings with other people and this and that, that's when Dave and we stepped back from our group and started Paranormal Inc.
And just the fun started there. See, that's the thing, though. I mean, people don't realize what fun we all have when we get together. I mean, we're like brothers, man. I mean, and that's just the way it is, and I say it all the time. I swear to God, next time in Gettysburg Bash, I want you, the Kling brothers, and Dave, and everybody, y'all standing there with your big old bald-headed, bearded, whatever you got going on, with your sunglasses, and I'm going to be standing all 5'2" of me right in front of y'all. Just like, let's go.
No. You want them all holding you like this?
Yeah, just hold me like... Because that's it. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, I'm fine with that. But everybody is just, it's like I say this all the time. It's all the big, scary people in their black T-shirts. Those paranormals, those, they're so scary. They've got all this, the scary people in the black T-shirts that always show up when you call when the shit hits the fan. That's what I'm talking about, because every one of them do. And we've had the phone calls. I've got something in my house. I don't know what it is. I have to stop for a second and say happy Thanksgiving to Canada. Sirach, happy Thanksgiving, love. He's eaten, he threw the family out. He's done with his feast. This is global. This is global. I'm telling you, we've got people here all over, and that's so beautiful, man. Everybody together talking about learning. Next time we're going to have you on, I just want to talk about like tech and equipment and things like that. But I wanted to chat to get to know you guys a little bit, because Ernie and Dave are going to be regulars. Like a lot of people you see here, you're going to get real familiar with them, because every time we come on, we talk about something different. We just push a button and we go, and we talk about a few things, some things that scared us, we joke. I mean, if I ask them what the scariest thing is, I think it was the time that you broke Ernie's nose or something.
Broke his nose.
It's not the scary stuff. It's because to us, that's not scary. When we get evidence.
It's the behind the scenes.
Yeah, but also when we get evidence, it's not scary, it's intriguing.
Oh, it's the evidence is great.
Oh, wow. What was that? Did she answer me? Did you get that too? Did you feel that? I just felt this. I mean, it's crazy. You're in a dark cellar with some of the best people you've ever met in your life, and you can't believe you're doing it. And you usually walk away with more evidence than a whole season of something else you've watched on TV.
It all depends too on the energy.
On the energy.
That's it, though.
That you bring there.
Right. It's true. And that's what I said time and time again. And every one of the people we've mentioned tonight, they're part of that. The heart,
speaking
the
of
berries,
energy,
everybody.
We were at an investigation one time. It was a public investigation. And we were saying to the people that were there, look, this place has seen lots of people go, who are you? What have you done? What did you die? All these dumb. We said to the people, look, keep it weird. Give something funny. Give something weird off the box. Right. We're up in the attic, and this one lady comes up, and I have all the equipment out, and she goes, "Is Dave full of bullshit?" And literally, the place started erupting laughing. At that point, every piece of equipment started going nuts.
This is the way we like to look at it. Like, in a few weeks, we're hosting a investigation at a venue,
right?
And people's paying to come there and go on a real live paranormal investigation. This is what we tell them. This is the way we look at it. You're not coming to a ghost hunt. You're coming to a party.
Right.
Bring that party excitement, and let's make the spirits here, or the spirits that are visiting,
give them the energy.
Of that party.
Yes. And part of the energy and everything else, because you're going to draw that, we say it all the time.
Absolutely.
Negative draws negative, positive draws positive. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're not in a group of positive. Now, I was choked at the Hoover. Oh, wow. I can say I want the T-shirt, and right now I'm the only one I know that can wear it. I was choked at the Hoover. Can you imagine? The berries would sell it. It'd be a good seller. Oh, yeah. But, so I'm in the dark cellar, and I feel the, now this is it. If I was there by myself.
Oh, my God. I just realized something. I'm sorry. My daughter started doing the exact same thing at the Hoover House the day I got caught in the elevator.
See, there's a female there.
I didn't think about that. You just started going,
well, this is what she's trying to show, and it's not an attack. I mean, this is my take, my vantage point. But see, I wouldn't have that if I didn't stop and listen to everybody else who was going around the cellar. I didn't blurt anything out. I didn't say anything. I waited until everything was in, and then it was able to put together. I mean, her name was Allison. The box is saying Allie, so they think she wants to be called Allie, and I'm going, no. She was killed in the alley, and listen,
we were getting literally the same response.
We were getting the same
really?
thing.
I'm telling you, she wants it to be told. And I'm like, everybody thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, no, this is the shit. This is what happened. Jim says he's doing a prayer. He's doing a prayer, right? And it's basically a protection prayer and everything else, the calling in of everything. It was very cool. She was already behind me. The thing hanging upside down in the back room behind me, the open doorway. I don't know what's back there, but that's where it was hanging in the back corner shadow. I felt it the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and he's saying, you can trust us. We all trust each other here, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's going around the room. Everybody's solemn and doing their own little protection prayer. And I hear in my head, this is what happened to me last time I trusted somebody. And I start feeling the choke. And it's the inside out, not outside in.
Right, yeah,
it's inside out. And it's and it's dry, then it's squeezing, and it's just getting bigger. But I can see what she was... Not really what she was seeing, but what she was experiencing. I don't know how to explain that. I really wasn't seeing the guy's face as much as I was feeling her shock at, I trusted you. Do you see what I'm saying? This is what went down. They're saying that it's Allison. I'm getting Allison. They're thinking Allie comes up. Allie, 23.
We got the same
Allie.
name, both sides, Allie and Allison. And my mind is like fake right now.
I promise you. So I'm listening to everything that's going on, and I'm being real quiet. Mike Luciana's there. Brandon, so many people. My sons both were there. My future daughter-in-law. First time ever she had been involved, so she's doing the box and reading the words. I don't know what equipment this is, but she's reading words that are written, that are coming up. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So it's all going together. Now, what I get, this blows your mind, but you've heard it before. It's nothing new to you guys. She's not there as a stuck earthbound spirit. She was halfway, found out that she could come back and do some things to help her energy. All right, you feeling what I'm saying?
Okay.
She's trying to help the guy who choked her. He's the one in the cellar.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I keep putting this out there to Jim, and Jim's been real quiet about it, and he's just sitting back and listening. And other people are coming in getting pieces, and Jim's listening. And I'm telling you, Jim, this is what I got. I said, you're going to find out. Certain people are going to get little bits of this along the way. And you did, huh?
We got the same exact thing.
The same thing. We went into the basement with my daughter Grace.
Boom!
Sensitive, and she was talking to it. Actually, I think John got that on video. We got to check that. But she was getting Allie and Allison, and then all of a sudden she started going, and she finally went, Dad, I got to get out of here. Something's choking me.
Boom. This is what I'm saying.
Right now, my mind. Can you see my
Allison,
mind?
yes.
Exploded?
Allison wants. So listen, I plan on going back there in a couple weeks. She's trying, like I said, to help this guy, and I'm not gonna jump to conclusions here that this is the guy who choked her. It may very well be the guy who said she could trust him. You see where I'm coming from? Yep. Mm-hmm. So I think we've got a little tangled yarn in the basket here. So we're going to have to follow the colored yarn and just untwist it slowly. But you know what? They're in good hands because there's good people there. And the Berries are going to make sure, along with Jim and Dave, that it's handled. Yeah, that's Mr. Dickens. He's saying hi. But
we've heard a spiritual cat here before. I'm like, do you hear that?
So, no, I don't have a cat, Dave. What are you talking about? You're out of your mind, man. So listen, we were talking about, I know you guys got to go soon. I've kept you too long. But we're talking about evidence and getting that excite. Mm-hmm. You know, when you see something. And there's so much crap out there, right? Nowadays a 13-year-old Godzilla could kill, destroy New York. on what he's got on his laptop and be clear and beautiful,
Yeah.
But I still love seeing the vids and the lost footage or whatever you want to call it. Now, this is a little Blair Witchy, but my chat loves this one. Chat, it's that video, so get ready. They love this one because we don't know what the hell it is. And it's just, it may be the Glimmer Man. Not sure. I don't really want to put a label, but let's see what you think. I love this.
Original sightings took place. A video camera was found by a local game hunter. No one has come forward to claim this footage.
I just think it's on an old.
It's so Blair Witchy, but you gotta love it. You gotta love it.
That's the best.
Yeah, that's 16 millimeter. It's on. That's not a digital. That's actually 16 millimeter.
I'm gonna keep showing this to people till I figure out what it is. Oh my God.
That's actually 16 millimeter camera, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Do you see it yet?
Look,
Right there.
Do you see that?
What the hell?
What is that? He needs to go to the right just a bit.
Oh,
wow.
God! Oh God!
Wait. Because that was it again, right there. Right there.
Wait!
Wait.
Screw you, man! I'm gone.
That looks
You
like.
see that? Right there. Look.
Oh my God!
That's not deflecting.
And they stand there.
I don't like it.
Okay. Fuck.
Fabulous!
I would love to get the original and be able to blow that up and slow it down and tear it apart.
First of all,
I
if
love
you
it so
actually
much.
Listen to that video. You can hear the actual camera rolling. It's a 16 millimeter camera.
Okay.
All right. And so you're not going to get a digital edit in there. You're not going to be able to edit that. You can actually see it's a actual film, not a digital copy.
All right.
All right. Second thing is, if you watch it, when whatever that is moves, you could tell it's larger and it actually has some type of light deflecting or refraction property.
At one point when it went across and you could actually see it take form, to me, now I'm blind as a bat, but to me, it looked like it went like this and reached for something.
Absolutely.
It looked like it lunged out.
Absolutely fabulous. And
Very cool.
this is why we do this.
Now,
You
the
know,
interesting part is, though, it said that it was found by a hunter out in the woods. That tells me that the two people who made the video
gone.
didn't make it.
Color me gone, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe they were still standing there going, what is that? Oh, look at this. I'd be like,
that's peculiar.
I'd
No,
be
my
so
ass is
gone.
Scooby-Dooing. I'm sorry. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. But see, that's the thing. You never know. I mean, how many times we've been tramping around in the woods in Gettysburg or, you know, over Devil's Den or something like that. And you wonder if something's right in front of you and you're not recording it or, all the time that you're right. How many times have we heard as investigators, there was one that gave me the absolute chill. It was by Peter Underwood. Now we're going back. Peter Underwood. We're going back, right? And famous parapsychologist, ghost hunter from Britain, way back in the day, 38, 40s? Somewhere around in there for a long time, for like 40 years. Anyway, he tells the story of he sets up equipment. Now, as a paranormal investigator, how cherry would this be, right? You set up the equipment, you've got everything on tripods, right? And you go out to have coffee and you just leave it sit there, but you leave it rolling. And you come back and they notice that it's been running. It's motion detected and sound detected, activated, right? So Peter Underwood, they roll it back and it's got two voices. Okay, the camera moves a little bit on the stairs and it moves a little bit back. And then you hear, what is this? They're recording us. They're taking pictures.
Oh, wow.
And the other one says, "Oh, that again. Don't speak to him."
Oh,
And that's all you hear. So when I hear something like that, I think, how many times do we go into a haunted house or right behind us and go, "Don't interact with them. Don't talk to them. Don't, and they're just standing there."
Cisco, we had an investigation. It was a public investigation a little while back, and it was this year. But the funny thing that what happened is we recovered evidence, okay, and we had voices or whatever, but they were ignoring Dave and I and was talking amongst themselves.
Just having a chat. That's just it, having a chat. I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard this, where I know that I feel it. I know there's more on the outskirts, not getting involved in the, interaction.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll tell you, well, he doesn't like us to talk about that. Or, you get little broken things, on a recorder and you don't put them together till later, like, wow, that was going on. But I love the fact that you guys hang, with Lori Johnson, fantastic. All these different people who have a gift that pick up stuff like this. Like Dave and I just, what we just did globally, live, was continuing investigation in a fantastic place called the Hoover House, 1912 Hoover House in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, that we get a chance to keep going back to and piecing this together as a group, sometimes without even knowing it, right? And putting together a story about people who lived probably 1920s, 1930s.
Right.
How incredible is that? And you guys went and did an investigation. I guarantee you Michael Laciana has stuff. He every once in a while he'll say, "Did you that day see something standing beside me?" No, man, I was getting everything from behind me. And in his vantage point, he sees me and the room behind me. I'm getting all that feeling from the room behind me. He's getting stuff behind him. Everybody in that cellar felt something. Got something.
Nice.
And I guarantee every time. Did you guys do the table tipping?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
I did.
I had somewhere else to go that evening, but
right.
Yeah, that was just wicked wild. When a table picks up on its own and starts moving, and
towards
you just literally have your hands like that. I was like, after about 30 seconds, I'm like, I'm out. Bye.
Leans in to give you a hug.
Yeah.
And the thing is that
wait a minute. After that elevator incident, all right, let me explain this real quick. I had fallen a few days before, and I had a wardrobe collapse on me, and I had hurt my back. I was having problems getting up and down stairs. So they say, take this elevator. All you do is you walk in, you flip the light on with a switch right there, you close the door and hit the floor you want to. Not a problem.
Right.
Now this
it's kind of creepy.
Is the size of a coffin.
It is. It's kind of creepy, chat. I was in it.
Like this. Young. All right, so it's bouncing to go up.
Ugh.
It gets between the second and third floor. I can see this much of the third floor already, and then like that much left before it was gone from the second. And the elevator stops. I'm like, all right, guys, very funny.
Stop it.
The light goes out in the elevator. Then the elevator starts going like this, bouncing like on top of me.
Oh no!
At this point, I am screaming my head off. Get me the blank out of here!
Right, 100-something-year-old elevator now, guys.
Yeah,
and it smells like it's 100.
Speed at that point.
It smells 100 years old, doesn't it?
I'm a tad claustrophobic.
And a tad large.
And I'm 6 foot thick and I'm 200 pounds. I'm like, get me the out of here. Well, apparently they lowered me back down to the second floor, got the gate open. I could not get out of that damn elevator fast enough.
That's
and of course,
funny.
Everybody's standing there going, Dave, you okay? Dave.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. But that thing is creepy. And I wrote in it with Haney, and Haney's no little boy either. You know, and he's just like real big, and we're all in there, and I'm like, so, how about them Yankees, man?
How did you fit in there with Dave Haney? God bless his soul.
I know. Me and
that
Haney
man is like the size of a grizzly bear.
I know. It was funny. It was absolutely, the stairs or something too. There's all kinds. It's kind of Winchester Mansion-y, You know,
Yeah.
it's got the stained glass and everything. So if you have a chance, get to Waynesboro, to Hoover House. You might meet these wonderful gentlemen here, and I can't tell you how glad I was to meet you guys way back in the day. And
Yeah, we've been friends for a while now.
yeah, right. It's been cool. We have to get down there and
Absolutely.
investigate together and
Anybody
stuff.
in the area, we're going to be in a really big event.
Cool beans.
Excuse me, in less than 2 weeks, October 22nd through 24th.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Come see us at the Martinsburg, West Virginia Roundhouse for the Halloween extravaganza.
And we are leading an investigation the 22nd, Friday the 22nd. I believe it starts at either 11 or midnight.
We're there for the entire.
We're there for the whole thing.
We're there for days.
Outstanding. So. And I don't know where you guys are going to be on Halloween the 31st, but I've already got Ernie's Punch the Dance card. I hope you will too, Dave. We are having, myself and this wonderful chat, on Halloween night, we are doing a costume video call-in Halloween party. Happy birthday, Steve Stockton. Just All Hallows Eve bash. Yeah. So I hope you guys can call in and tell Steve happy birthday. Just all you gotta do, even if you're out at a costume party or something, pick up the phone. I'll send you guys the link and call in and give a little ghost story. That's all you got to do. So we're telling ghost stories and costume party on Halloween. So I hope you'll be there. And the book is fantastic. Again, it's on Amazon. It is Paranormal. My Chosen Journey, fantastic, and also Haunted Hospital, The Ghosts on the Road, and that's going to be on the 12th. Yes.
This Tuesday, Travel Channel. Cisco, we got to scoot.
I love you, babies.
Something we have to take care of, and
Okey-doke.
We will be in touch. Thank you for having us. Thank you, everybody, for watching or for listening.
Always.
And check us out. November 21st on our Step Into the Paranormal episode. We're going to have Brad and Barry that Cisco and I were talking about. So,
oh, terrific. Yes. And maybe I can call in. I'd love to. I'd love to say hi to those guys.
I'm counting on it.
Definitely. I love you guys so much. Thank you for taking the time to come in and say hi, everybody. Have a good time. Bye-bye. Until next time. Okay, guys, there you go. Those are my friends. It's Ernie and Dave. They are fantastic. We could have talked an awful lot about tech because they are fantastic in the tech department. They have EVPs. They have the whole gamut. They've been on my show a couple of times, and I've sat with them and had some fantastic conversations. So it's been just absolutely wonderful to know them. And it's funny how you see everybody in this kind of atmosphere, and we're joking and we're, I'm throwing videos at them just to get their honest opinion. But see, that's the thing. When you get something like that, you get some EVP or something like that, in a big group. And you go to everybody and they start looking at it and they're just as intrigued looking at yours as getting their own. And they're in it to teach how to do it if you want to learn tech, or if you want to learn how to look up history on a place and how to put it all together, and learn about ley lines, or water that might be by a haunted place. Or do you want to learn the more psychological breakdown part? Like if you're dealing with a family that has maybe mental illness, maybe there's somebody in there that's got PTSD, is taking some kind of pharmaceutical or whatever that's making them not only mentally challenged at what they're seeing and how they're reacting to things, but also that's a breakdown of your protective aura. We talk about that all the time on the show. So that gives you like a weakness or a crack that something that might be negative can start pushing on it. So you've got a group like Dave and Ernie with, like I said, Ernie's been a police officer, I know, over 20 years. And Dave was one. And you're with other people that are military and trained in that way, or any kind of service, like a police officer, or even, a fire department, and rangers and different people like that. They look at things in a different way. analytically wise, evidence wise, but also the people aspect of it. What are people like? What is their body language telling them? Is there some kind of a rift going on between people in the home? Is there argument? Is there some kind of abuse or something? Is there, like I said, mental illness? So you've got, that's so many layers to a paranormal. You can't just walk in there and start setting up a bunch of equipment. There's a famous case, and I won't point out the people because, some people really, really like some of the people that are involved in this. And in some case, from what I've heard on the back end of it, and from the background and the people that I know, they didn't treat the people in the home very, very well. The paranormal team that's on TV came in, has a B group, a B and a C group. And B and C group goes in and sets up all the stuff, puts all the tape and all that. Not like you see on TV where they're setting it up themselves. They have a team that goes in and does that and sets down all the stuff and hands out the credit card to the family that's going to pay for their hotel room so they can skedaddle out of there for that night or the, whatever amount of time that the team is there. And the shoddy way and how the people were treated by the team or the producers of the show or whatever because the card didn't work or something like that. Just, from that point right into the team goes in there and is nice to the family's face, but then when the show comes out, they've edited all to make the family look like they were lying. And it really destroyed some of those family members' lives, you could say, at least temporarily. Made it very difficult for them because they weren't lying. And other teams went in there that took a little bit more time and found out that there was not just a haunting or a ghost involved in that house. It was an infestation of entities and a portal of negative things just coming into this house and wreaking havoc and leaving amazing evidence, by the way, evidence that could be looked up and very difficult to fake. But this TV show went in there and basically had it in their minds that these people were lying, and bing, bang, boom, their lives are destroyed. Not only are they infested with evil entities, I mean, to the point of, I'm not laughing, I'm just saying, oh my God, the things that families will put up with. I mean, these people are getting their wallet stolen, not once, but 3 or 4 times, and moved around the house or never come back. Some things move and pop up someplace else. Okay, sounds real scary, right? Okay. You wake up on a Monday, you're going to work, you're putting on your makeup, you're shaving, you're doing whatever it is you got to do, you're eating your bagel and your breakfast, your banana, and whatever out the door. Where's your purse? Where's your wallet? You set it on that table. It hasn't moved. Where's your car keys? They're gone. Not misplaced, not someplace else, not I accidentally left them in the freezer like I did that one time. It was hard finding them, but that really happened. Don't ask me how. It's just me. So it wasn't like that. Now the people have to go and replace everything in their wallet, all their credit cards, all their debit cards, all their scan cards for the office, whatever that may be. Think about the stuff that's in your wallet and your purse. Think about having to replace your car keys when replacing a car key now with the chip in, it costs about $200, $300. Okay, now it happened Monday. You got everything fixed. All the money that it cost you to get that stuff replaced, and you wake up and it's off your nightstand again. About a week later, you got to do it all again. Do that 3 or 4 or 5 times. That kind of psychological torture. It's not only psychologically messing with you and torturing you and making you nervous. Like, what do? Do you sleep with your wallet in your bra? What do? You put it on your nightstand, it's gone the next day. Now you're going through everything again. You're late for work again. You've got to make this phone call again to your boss. This will tear a family up, and I haven't even said anything crazy scary yet. This is just a psychological breakdown Okay? Along with some financial. I mean, how long could you keep that up, right? Hey, Bigfoot and on, how you doing? Hey, Thurston. Hey, Jilly. Hey, Jackie. Thank you so much, guys, for being such great mods out there. Jackie and Sue and Uncommon Belief and everybody that was posted. I didn't see Patriot tonight. I miss him. I hope everybody is good. Yes, so that's the thing. You need a team that's got compassion, that's got a mindset, that's got, you're looking at everything. Like I said, having your wallet go missing every couple of weeks doesn't sound like boom, boom, boom. It's weird and it shouldn't be happening and it's messing with your head, but it's also messing with your life. And you get that on top of something else, on top of having, I don't know, something burst into flames in your kitchen or something, or wake up and the gas is on, you shut it off, or the alarms are going off for no reason, or you're at work and you've got a home alarm and it keeps going off but nothing's there, so you leave work and you come home and find nothing's there. It doesn't sound scary. But if that happens 4 or 5 times in a month or 6 times in a month, it tears you apart. Now, everybody in the family is going through something like that. Maybe the older sister goes in and finds her makeup all over the place and blames it on the little kid, sister or brother. Now you got a party. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's important when people call me up or call you up. Oh, fantastic, Sue. Patriot's working on an intro vid for At Week's End News. That's fantastic. I can't wait to see it. And if you guys haven't caught that show, At Week's End News, it's on D-Live. And that's Pseudonym and Kiwi and Kia and Sparky. They do a fantastic weeks, well, like it says, at the week's end, they give you the news that happened that whole week, with clips and their insight and everything. It's very cool. Try to catch it over there on D-Live at Week's End News. And we love Pseudonym. She's a fantastic mod and one of my Black Ops captains. I salute you, my friend, and I love you dearly, and hugs and kisses to Kiwi. So that's the thing I'm trying to say, though. The private investigation groups that I know, that I've gotten close with over the years, fantastic mediums, the kinds that are absolutely past the BS. When you sit down and you say you're a skeptic, they salivate and go, ha ha, let's get started. Hold my beer. Hold my crystal balls. I kid you not, That's the joy, I think, of being at the fall, the autumn, the the however you want to put it, of my life. My leaves are turning colors and falling off me, folks. Let's just put it that way. To be in the fall, I can look back and I can say, what have I learned? Well, I've learned that families really do have these kind of crises, and we can and we can criticize them, and we can say that they're crazy. We can pull a Carrie on them. Remember the beginning of Carrie, where everybody's just laughing and pointing at this poor girl who's got abilities. Really, this is what breaks down to. Carrie, she had abilities. She didn't know what to do with them. Her mother had abilities, but she's batshit crazy on steroids and just went completely nuts, and this whole spiritual craziness that she put on her daughter, and she's trying to beat, sense into her, and don't be that way because it destroyed my life, and your father left me because I'm batshit crazy, and didn't she have spiders in her hair or something? It was crazy hair. Carrie's mother, good Lord, what a nut job she was. But anyway, so Carrie is this oppressed young woman who's coming into life with all the questions and hormones and stuff that's going on with a person in that age group, right? And the mother's trying to beat it out of her. Well, listen, is that really any different from a mom who has an ability and she's just like shut it off because she doesn't understand it, and her daughter coming into understanding that she has gifts, or son, like in The Sixth Sense, right? And that could be going on in a household. And that's why the dishes are flying around the kitchen, and, candles are going out, and the fireplace is, blowing out, and all this other crazy stuff. Cabinet doors banging, shower coming on and off. Who knows? PK is strong, yeah? So you need a paranormal group that can go in there. You have cops that are currently dealing with the shit that's on the streets right now. And you've got that quality of human being coming into your house free of charge to sit on your couch and hear, okay, ma'am, what did you see? Just the facts, ma'am. Well, I saw Uncle Harold coming down the stairs, and he was glowing like, Christmas morning, and he was real happy, and he told me the insurance papers were in the wall, and my husband won't let me tear down the wall. Whatever kind of crazy crap's going on. But they have to sit down and they have to weed through the human aspects of a case from the living before they ever get to what's going on with the dead. So that's what a paranormal group does, besides going in and hooking up equipment. Like this one fancy on TV group has an A and a B team and a C team that handles all of that, and they just walk in and go, that looks like this looks like that, looks, that looks, oh, did you hear that? Oh, it said my name. Oh, wait a minute, it said demon. The word demon came up. Oh, it must be something, horrible. Let's go get lunch and a beer. And then we're going to tell the producers what we think about it, and then they can edit all this together and be damned with whoever is dead haunting the place and what ghost might be going through hell there. And also be damned the living who live in the house, and now we're going to lie about them and tell, and ruin their lives too. That's not a show. That's a travesty. And you've got people, yep, Mr. Dickens. Come here, Mr. Dickens, say hi. I'm just saying, for my taste, for me, my choice, I want to get into the heart of the matter, why I lean so much toward Hans Holzler, who showed me at a very young age, at like 11, when I couldn't get answers from anybody else. He had books and books and books filled with, if not answers, at least ideas and theories and thoughts and wisdom and experience that said, hey, you might want to approach it like this. Ghosts were people too. And if you help the dead, the living around the dead won't be bothered anymore. Well, gee, that sounds brilliant to me, right? So, in some cases, I think it's got flipped. And I've been kind of steady through the whole thing going, no, we got to put the feeling back in. Well, that's why I have these guys on tonight. And that's why I have KSPS on. And you'll see other people the same way. The mediums and people I've gotten to know over the years all feel the same way, that you've got to have all of that together. And why I showed the videos, exactly why I said, we see these and we're like, whoa, look at that. I stopped looking at them and going, okay, that's fake. Now, if it's obviously fake, if I've seen the app that put the thing there, or I know a little bit about photoshopping and things like that, and being an art all my life, I kind of get the gist, Excuse me, I'm no techie by any means, and I'm certainly not like Dave or Ernie or Dave Haney or any of these others that can look at stuff and tell you, or Jeremy that can look in and break all this down. I like the intrigue of it. I like looking at that found footage and going, holy mackerel. If I was in those woods, I would have been gone so fast, I would have dropped the camera. I would have ran like lickety-split. Guaranteed. I mean, you can hear that thing growling. If that was something that was put together, bravo. They did a great job. If it's real, holy shit, what is out there? And what the hell happened to those people? And that's found footage, supposedly, dropped in a camera and somebody else found it and, oh, let's see what's on here, and then that happened. Could it be? I think so. I think it's possible. Today's day and age, I'm sure it's happened multiple times. You know, we might only found one camera with some found footage on it that might be real. You know, somebody could have shot that, dropped the camera, and, you know, let's hope somebody finds it. Like throw a message in a bottle and send it into the ocean. I hope somebody gets it. But you know what? Sometimes those letters come back, don't they? Sometimes those letters come back. Sometimes a little Scottish boy, 20 years later, will get the letter. I found your message in a bottle, and I just thought you'd like to know we got it in California, and isn't that cool? Happens. Right? So sometimes you gotta wish for the miracle. Sometimes you gotta believe that sending the right team in with the right heart and the right attitude and the knowledge and enough to understand that they're not the whole team, that everybody in the team, that's exactly what it means. Everybody has a specialty. Everybody has a gift. Everybody is more open to their intuition or their abilities. So all that should be put together. Look what happened tonight. That wasn't set up. These guys just spent a night in the Hoover House, which is a bed and breakfast, you guys know, that I spent not, 4 weeks, 5 weeks ago in the same cellar, getting the same message. Message in a bottle, yeah. Yep. That's somebody. Is it Tiniest Squish? Oh, that's cute. But now I've got message in a bottle in my head too. So Sting and the Police. But see, that's just it. It does take a group sometimes. It blows my mind again that 10, 15 people, or 5 people or 2 people and an EMF meter and a flashlight or whatever would spend any time trying to unravel, who are you? What do you want? Why are you still here? Why are you banging on the door? Why do you keep moving that picture? Why do you keep coming in and out the door? What are you trying to say? Why are you trying to get my attention? There was see, I'm going to tell you this little ghost story because it's real banging. It's a real deal. And you can actually listen to a radio play of this story I'm going to tell you. And you can find it by Google. Go to YouTube and just put in CBS Mystery Theater. What is it? The Ghost with the Knife. Okay? But the cool part about this is, I was a teenager when this happened. It happened in 1974 in Long Island, and I was in New Jersey. And there was a lot of news coming out of Long Island around then because remember, something else famous happened, Amityville Horror, right around the same time, yeah? So, I love you too, baby. So, I'm there. Oh, anyway, so much news is coming out, and anything with ghosts in it. I remember there was this thing going on where somebody bought a haunted house and didn't want it, was trying to sue somebody. You didn't tell us it was haunted, I want my money back, that kind of thing. Oh, you're just making it up, you're just trying to get out of the lease. That kind of thing was going back and forth in this court. And then this case came up, 1974, The Ghost with the Knife. Now, I would tell you straight up that in the 1970s radio theater, like CBS Mystery Theater, they weren't the only ones that did it, but there's so many, Johnny Dollar, all these mystery Shadow Knows and all this. The women are portrayed like Donna Reed or whoever was married to Father Knows Best. These women they're wearing the apron, and there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, they had their hair done, they had the pearls, they had the makeup, they had heels on, they had the dress, and they had the apron. And by God, there were fresh cookies, and there was something called dessert that you had after dinner, and they had everything all together, right? There's nothing against them. It's the way they talked and the way they portrayed themselves. It was just like they were so weak, like they're going to faint. They got the vapors, you know. Oh my God, it's back, you know. And they're, if you can get past that, they were actually very well done. But the women were portrayed a little funny back then. So anyway, I mean, I can't imagine how they'd be done now. They would come in with a double-barreled shotgun and start blowing kitchen cabinets apart or so. I don't know. But anyway, the story is a ghost story that happened in Long Island in 1974, and it's a man and a wife and a child, little child. Now, the woman is, you know, every time I come in here, it feels nice in my son's room, but we keep hearing this ghost coming up the cellar steps, and turning the doorknob to the cellar door that opens out into the kitchen, and they hear it walking up every night. Every night. They hear it walking up the cellar steps, turn the doorknob to the kitchen, to the cellar door, open up. The door doesn't move. They just hear it. That actually happened to me. It's in the book. Heard it and you didn't see it move. It was weird. So anyway, it walks around the kitchen, then goes back down. They hear the door open. They hear it go back down the cellar stairs. And it keeps turning up the thermostat to like 90. And they're sweating. Well, you know, the thermostat, I turned it down to 60. Now it's at 90. We don't know why. The ghost did it. This keeps going on. So an actual case, they call it this paranormal investigator. Very much like a Hans Holzer type. He was an actual investigator. He was out there. His name was Bryce something. I can't remember his name. Anyhow, he goes in there with his crew, a medium, himself, the communicator, and the science, whatever, maybe paranormal, parapsychologist, something like that. But he goes in with that and a camera guy, so his own little tech team and his own medium, his own little investigating squad, right? Goes in, and they spend time with this family. They hear the ghost come up the stairs. They see that it's turning up the thermostat and everything. And the medium starts talking. This ghost starts talking through the medium and telling me, doesn't mean to scare anybody. Again, another ghost that won't get to the damn point. It's talking about this, and I didn't mean to bother scare the child. I love children. It's talking about danger. It's talking about it doesn't remember what date it is. It doesn't remember numbers, the ghost. So it doesn't know when it died. It died in the winter because there was snow on the ground, and it died in the house. It also tells how he sat at the window. It's so sad. Sat at the window in the chair for the last year of his life and just looked out at the window, and that's how he knows it was snowing when he died. It was the saddest thing. He's telling him all this, but he won't tell him why he's haunting the house. The whole story. But it doesn't tell him what it wants. Why are you going up and down the cellar stairs? What's the deal? And then it goes back down the stairs and doesn't have anything to say. A little while later, they try it again, and it comes through, and it still won't tell them. It says it has to show them, and it makes them go down the stairs. They go down the stairs, and he says that he didn't fix the boiler right when he worked in the house, and now there's a gas leak, and if they don't do something about it, the whole house is going to blow up, and that's what he wanted to tell them. You couldn't open with this? This is my questions. You couldn't. How about there's a gas leak in the cellar, the boiler is going to blow, and I happened to die looking out a window. It was snowing. Why ghosts do this? I can't explain it. But if it takes that long, and this, like I said, actual case, 1974, Staten Island, this happened. There are so many cases like that. It blows your mind. There are so many cases like that where it takes so long to focus the person in, the ghost in. And you'd think that the first thing in front of his mind would be, why are you going up and down the cellar stairs? There's gas. The house is going to blow. You open with that, But they don't. So that's why first of all, go listen to that story. It's fantastic. CBS Mystery Theater, The Ghost with the Knife. It's really good adaptation of what actually happened. I've read it in a book, the case itself, and they did a really good job. They left a few things out that sounded a little more scary, but it was just the ghost trying to get attention. Anyway, it all turned out good. And so anyhow, that's what I'm getting at. It takes them so long, even if you can get them to communicate. If you can get to that point, if you can get to the point where they're understanding that they're dead and you're alive, and why are you here and what do you need? To getting to that point, you have to get through the living as well. If you're going to a house that people live and they're going through whatever they're going through. And that's why Ernie and Dave and Jim and Dave, Mike Simpson, Jeremy, so many other people, like I said, I'm going to bring on here. Their approach to it has that depth, has that understanding, that compassion, that wisdom amongst, together as a team. It'll blow your mind how fast they can get stuff done. And get to the heart of the matter and what's happening, and they get really good evidence along the way. And I do believe it has a lot to do with intent and their whole reason for doing it as well. That's why every time I get somebody on here too, I say, what was the first thing that got you intrigued? And I could ask you guys that too. What was the first thing in this chat that got you intrigued? Was it an experience you had, that you couldn't explain? Did you see something, in that experience that you couldn't explain, that, you knew that you probably couldn't go right to somebody and say, hey, I just saw somebody going down the stairs, doesn't live here. Was it something subtle, or was it a book? Did you read about ghosts? I just watched the old 13 Ghosts, the old one, not the new one. The new one, I'm sorry, I was not thrilled by it. I think they just went they went the deep end for no reason, when the original story was just as good, about a guy who basically collected ghosts. That's, and got caught up in it. I think it had kind of a real white noise kind of feel to it, but one was done, I think, in the early 40s, late 30s, and one was done, probably about 10, 15 years ago. If you've never seen White Noise, that was a good one too. But the original 13 Ghosts, very good. And you know what I saw? You guys told me, and I'm going to get off of here because we've got so much stuff coming up. Tomorrow night's going to be fantastic. Somebody in the chat recommended The Changeling with George C. Scott. And you know what? I had never seen it. It was the 1970s. And I watched it because you guys mentioned it, and it was really good. I'm shocked I never saw that thing. I remember around that time the original Fog came out and some other ones, I remember George C. Scott being in Firestarter. But anyway, it was really good, so I highly recommend it. And I just finished watching The Uninvited too, from like 1940 something. Again, free on YouTube, both of them, so go watch them. Ernie's show is going to be on again. It's going to be on Tuesday the 12th. It's called Haunted Hospitals on the Travel Channel, and it is The Ghost on the Road. Now, Ernie has had a lot of experiences, especially being a police officer in Baltimore. and some of them include, paranormal. And it's been something else to hear some of his experiences. He shared a couple tonight, but his book, I know, has a lot of them, and his journey is in there, and how he looks at things and analyzes them, through a trained eye. It's a little different. So a lot of good information in there, and Ernie's a great guy, and so is Dave. So I've known him for years. Also, Steve's birthday. Now, again, I don't know what you guys are doing October 31st, but it just so happens to be a Sunday, and I've posted a couple things on my Facebook group page and some stuff like that. I'm going to post some stuff here on YouTube about it. We are doing, we're dead serious about this. Now, Laura's helping, and anybody else that wants to help out or has ideas, we know we got snacks. You know, we can always have bacon caramel popcorn and apple pie moonshine to drink. But this is set up that even if you're going out somewhere, if you're going trick-or-treating or with the kids, or if you're giving candy to the kids, or if you've got a costume party or something you're going to that night, you can still call in. We're going to put the link in the chat. We're going to put the link on my Facebook page. We're going to make a messenger group for anybody that's still on Facebook. We'll do that. And also over in the Discord on our group there. And any other way we can think of to get it out, we can email some if we have to. So what we're doing is, it's Steve Stockton's birthday is Halloween, and I told him what we're going to do is going to have a call-in video if you want to, a costume party, so wear your costume, wear a funny hat, mustache, deck yourself out, whatever you want to do, and call in. And the only cost to call in and be on the show is you have to come with a story. Halloween poem, anything like that, a little scary story. We don't want any crazy, horrible, gory, guts swinging in the trees kind of stories, but, just any kind of ghost story or Halloween lore or something along those lines. Our theme for that night, not only Halloween and birthday, is vintage. So Steve was born in 1963, and he has a real affiliation for old vintage Halloween. So the old decorations for 1940s, the old Halloween cartoons, the old Halloween commercials, old Halloween songs. So a couple of people in the chat and I are getting together and getting some old commercials and old cartoons and stuff together so we can play them throughout the night. It'll be a couple of hours we'll be on, and your guys calling in, and we have some surprise guests to call in so Steve can maybe guess who they are, kind of like a This Is Your Life. I didn't get his third grade teacher, but we're going to try to get some friends to call in, and I think it'll be really cool for everybody. So wherever you are, you can call in for a few minutes, stop what you're doing, and if you're at a party or something, go outside or call in and just give a quick ghost story and a happy birthday to Steve Stockton. I know it mean the world to him, and I think it'll be a lot of fun for us too. Like I said, we're going to see some little short vids and party through and just tell ghost stories all night and have fun in our costumes and stuff. It's BYOB. You can drink booze all you want, especially if you're home, you don't have to drive, so that'll be great. Booze and booze, I'm all for it, but you got to bring your own. It's BYOB. So Laura Elizabeth here in the chat is helping me gather some stuff for Steve. If you think you have anything, an old commercial or old video or something like that we could play, or if you want to call in, hit myself, Laura up, go on the Facebook page, do it in the YouTube comments. If you want to put your email, we can get a group email together just so you can get the StreamYard link for that night to call in a video chat. Now, if you're a secret caller, if you're somebody that we're setting up from Steve's past, that one of his friends or somebody hasn't heard from in a while, and we're going to surprise him, there is a way to put on to cover your camera using an icon or a picture. So when you're in StreamYard, do that. We'll cover your thing. Change your name just to put, secret. And you can call in and Steve can guess who you are if you want to do that. So get as drunk as you want. Eat anything you want. Party down in your costume. And All Hallows Eve, we're going to do old Halloween legends and everything else. Now, tomorrow night, Steve and I are going to have Monday Madness. And we're still thinking about our subject, so I don't want to say yet. We're on between two, but I think I really like another one that's a little more timely, so we might be I don't know. But by tomorrow morning, we'll figure it out. And we'll be doing that tomorrow night. And Sirach, I think you said something, honey, that you needed a prayer. And I think I saw Bill Bean. Go straight down to go to BillBean.com. And on BillBean.com for free is the spiritual warfare prayer. And there's him on there also doing prayers. You can pray with him in agreement. And everybody here send prayers and happy energy towards Sirach so he can. I didn't quite catch what was going on. But just rebuke that, whatever it is, Sirach, and absolutely go to Bill Bean's thing, and he's got all the prayers on there. They absolutely work. I've used them 100 times. And Archangel Michael, just call in the howitzer, as far as I'm concerned. That usually does it. So there's that. So October 31st, plan on it, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're welcome, love. And we are going to do our costume party, and I damn sure it's going to have some bacon. So bring your bacon and your costume and your ghost stories. And I love you. And thanks so much, Laura, for all your help. And anybody else who wants to call in, like I said, just tell Steve something, or tell him, a story that he told that you really liked, or something along those lines. Steve is up there in Oregon, and he's a good buddy of mine, and I always try to do something for him around Halloween, and this one popped up in my mind, and I thought, a lot of people might not be able to get out, and a lot of people might not be able to go to a costume party, so you can wear your costumes here, and you can call in, and we can get, have some togetherness in this chat and spend some time together and see Steve get surprised and stuff. So it'll be nice. A little vintage Halloween for all of us. So cool beans. And you don't have to leave your house if you don't want to. So there you go. Sounds cool. Everybody's sending prayers your way, honey. So grab all those prayers and collect all the energy being said in your name, because that is some very powerful energy there. And just gather it in. Everything that's being said and sent towards you, just gather it all in. Just kind of imagine it like you're pulling it all in towards you, and just push it towards whatever you need to rebuke. Sometimes it really is that easy. So there's that. Hey, Grey Wolf, how you doing? Hey, Divine, how you? And thanks again to all the mods that came through. I'm glad you got to meet Ernie and Dave. They're fantastic guys. And tomorrow night, let's not forget, after Steve and I have our madness, we are doing part 6, the first half of part 6 of Cabin 22. We are at part 6. Well, I could explain why I broke it in half, but it's long. It's a long part. It's a little over 4 hours. So there's 2 halves. We're going to do it 2 nights. We are down to the last 4 hours of our Cabin 22 story, guys. So we're almost there. Poor Jeb, right? Poor Jeb on his run didn't turn out too good. But all hell's about to break loose on the mountain. As you remember, the last words that were spoken came from Chuck McGee as he listened to the Bigfoots howling in the woods and the screams coming from the base of the mountain. Welcome to Hell Night, boys. So, tonight is going to be one hell of a night, and it's about 4 hours long, so we'll be celebrating that tomorrow night. We're listening to that right after the madness, part 6 of Cabin 22. We are almost there. We are almost there to Halloween, and I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed looking forward to Halloween, and putting new life into it, and sending out all this good energy to people who need it, and, sending it back and forth and around and bringing you good guests. We've got some really good ones coming up here in October, and I love spending this time with you. So there you go, guys. Good night to everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I don't know what snacks I'm going to bring. I know I'm probably going to have some of that moonshine, though. So good. I meant to send a heart, not a balloon. I love you, Laura. That's fine. I'll take the balloon. It's a little red balloon. Looks like It. Is there a clown behind that balloon? That was creepy. I read that book, It, about 8 months pregnant in Alabama. And I was about 3/4 of the way through it. And we got a tornado warning. So I had to take my flashlight. I was bigger than a house. I swear. I was huge. And I still got the book and my thing of taco flavored Doritos. And I'm going to just save my life from this tornado. And I had to go down in the tornado shelter, which was in the ground. You had to pull up the big thing, kind of like going down into a cellar, but it was a big room dug underground. It's tornado shelter. Spider webs in the whole nine. And I'm thinking, I've got it under one arm, Doritos, a flashlight, big as a house. And I'm going down these cellar steps. And I said, if a red balloon floats, that's all it would take, just a red balloon, floated out of that tornado shelter and come up those cement steps, I'd have had that baby right there come hell or high water, tornado or no. That'd have been it. I'd have had that child right there, right then. And you know what? He grew up. The first books he read that were chapter books was Goosebumps. The second was Stephen King. Can't get enough of it. He's read every book, 6 Ways from Sunday, Stephen King. So don't think you're not influencing your child when you're pregnant moms out there, because... and he loves Doritos, too. So, and he probably fears red balloons. So there you go. Red balloons for bacon for everybody. I love you all. We're going to do our little outro. I'll see you tomorrow night. And maybe I'll make some caramel peanut brittle with chocolate drizzle. Does that go with apple pie moonshine? I guess we can all find out. I love you all. Thank you for being here tonight. Thanks, mods. Mwah. Good night. Keep your feet under the covers. Keep your closet doors shut. Because there are things that go bump in the night. Good night, everybody. If I can find our outro. There we go.